The road we're on is paved in Garth.
Come along on the journey
as we explore
Garthology.
Think of it more as a conversation. I like that. So if this is truly a conversation, then I say let the conversation begin. Showtime!
Hey everyone, it's Deb.
And I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess.
Welcome to another episode of Garthology. So today's episode is going to be a little unusual, but Jess had a thought. Recently on Inside Studio G, Garth mentioned that maybe at the end of his residency, it would be time for Trisha to go out on tour. Well, if that's the case, then Jess's thought was, what if Trisha went on tour and Garth was her plus one? So that led to the next thought, which was, as of right now, when Trisha goes on with Garth, she does two of her own songs. So they start with a couple of duets, and then Trisha does a couple of her songs, and then it goes back to being a Garth show. So Jess's next thought was, if Garth performed as Trisha's plus one, what two songs do we think Garth would perform from his catalog? And what two songs, if they're not the same, would we want him to perform? So let's start with Jess.
Well, first of all, if Trisha does go out on tour, I'm super stoked about this because I've been wanting it for a long time. I miss me some Trisha Yearwood shows. I love when she comes out as Garth's plus one. I love watching them sing together. But I miss her catalog. She's got an awesome, huge catalog of music, and I miss a lot of those songs. So I will be super happy if she does go out. And bonus if we get to see Garth at the same time, because this is definitely, it would be something new. They've never done it that way before. They would still get to be together all the time. I think it's just a win-win.
Looks like Garthology's got to go on the road and find some Trisha. Go watch some Trisha show. That would be great.
Yeah, the three of us at a Trisha show.
I'm in.
So if that happens and Garth is Trisha's plus one, I think that the songs that he would come out and sing, either, wherever they put it in the show, if it's midway like it is when she comes out at his shows, I think it would be The Dance, and in no particular order, and Friends in Low Places, because those are like the big, everybody knows, and it's like a slow song, an anthem. I think those will be the ones that probably will get sang. I don't know, because those are big songs. Maybe he would choose to do something else. I'm not sure. Those are my thoughts, though. I really love Live Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up. So I really wish that he would do that one. And it would be a really upbeat, fun, midpoint in the show if they do put it in the middle. And if they do duets, too, the way they do now on Garth shows, I think that they would probably do Shallow because that's newer. And they've been doing that one together. And I think they would do Walk Away Joe because they do that as a duet and that's Trisha's song. So that would make sense for her show that he's being the plus one at. But if I were the one getting to pick songs and said, hey, this is your lineup, this is what you're going to do, I would want to see them do Powerful Thing because that's Trisha's song, but they used to perform it as a duet. And I freaking loved that song as a duet. If you've never seen them do that live together, go Google it. Go find it somewhere. It is so much fun. It's so hoppin' and just a great song anyway, but watching them do it together is crazy. Or maybe something like To Make You Feel My Love or Victim of the Game, something that they both have a version of, maybe do it together as a duet. Honestly, I love them both and I would watch them sing anything. So these are totally just random thoughts from Garthology today. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Pete, what do you think? Do you think the same as me? Do you have any of the same songs or are you totally different?
No, I think we got a little bit of the same stuff that's going on. I agree with you on the dance. I definitely think that he does the dance because he's said so many times before that he feels the song that has it's always been the one was the dance. And, it's the song that he uses really to close the first part of every show before any of the encores. in a show type setting, not something like the Grand Ole Opry or some kind of charity fundraiser where he'll jump on stage and sing a couple songs. Although I don't know that I've seen him do one that he hasn't done the dance. The dance just seems like it would have to be a part of a show that Garth is a part of. So I would say the dance. I have to agree in part to Friends in Low Places. But to me, I think that song, it's a closed down song. It closes down the show for Garth.
Yeah.
Being that it's an anthem, I think those two powerful songs may overshadow the way that Trisha would close the show in the end. So I don't know that he does Friends, but the way that he gets hyped up for Callin' Baton Rouge, that might be something that before he gets ready to get off stage, like that song live, and we've seen him a lot. Callin' Baton Rouge gets everybody back to 1,000% decibels. Like everybody's cranked up, and that'd be a perfect way for him to walk off stage and then just turn it back over to Trisha. And then when Trisha sings, I mean, we've all seen her. She's in a much smaller setting. She could kind of just bring everybody right back down to the palm of her hand. But everybody they've got that energy, you know. I think that Callin' Baton Rouge would be a good one. If I was to wish that there was two songs that were different, obviously for me, it's always going to be the dance. Seeing Garth, he's got to sing it. But for the podcast episode situation here, I would say I'd love to hear him sing The Thunder because that's a lot of fun. And he has so much fun doing Two Pina Coladas.
Yeah, that is true.
Right? Like that's a lot of fun. And I think that, even then, like, with The Thunder, it's again, it's one of those songs that, it's so iconic for Garth Brooks. And I think that even at a Trisha show, I mean, it'd be one of those songs that just captivated the entire audience and brought them in again. Pina Coladas is a lot of fun, and obviously a lot of good time there, and with the hands and all that. Now, listening to a couple of the Trisha songs and stuff like that, I got to tell you, one of my all-time favorites from her is Georgia Rain off the Jasper County. I think that song would be a perfect duet song for them two somehow. I think that Garth would sound super, super good in Georgia Rain. I mean, there, you think about Walk Away Joe and X's and O's and all that. Like, there'd be a lot of fun in those. But Georgia Rain, for them to do off that Jasper County item as a duet, I think would be amazing. I would love to hear the two of them sing that together.
Yeah, I would love to hear that because it's one they've never done. So, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be awesome. And I think there's just parts of that song where you could just twist the words a little bit and introduce Garth's voice into it, and it would just fit. So those are mine. What about you, Aunt Deb?
Okay, so for mine, I actually did put them in an order because I imagined what the show would be like. And I agree, it would be hard for the tempo of the show, depending on what they do, which is why I also didn't pick Friends in Low Places. Because I think, how do you start with that and then do another song and then go back to Trisha? Because I think it would be an awkward, like the way that they did it in Vegas when we were there recently, is Trisha comes out, they do some duets. Trisha does her couple of songs, and then Garth picks it right up with what I think is the first song he would do in a Trisha show, and that is also Callin' Baton Rouge. I think Trisha would introduce him, they would do some duets, and then she would step to the side the same way that he does. And then he'd go right into what he has said is his favorite song to perform live, which is Callin' Baton Rouge. And then I think his 2-song set would end with the dance. And I think that would be a good spot for him to then walk off. And then I could hear Trisha jumping in with like X's and O's, because then you pick it, you pick the pace right back up again.
Yeah. You just have to be another fast-paced song.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Right. So that was how I envisioned it in my head. But actually, those aren't the 2 songs that I would want. I actually would want him to start with Rodeo. I just love to hear that song live. And I think you go with Trisha, they do their duets, and then Garth goes right into Rodeo and then ends his 2-song set with the dance. And then quietly goes off the stage while Trisha takes over again with something like X's and O's. So that was how I played the whole concert out in my head. So that was how that went, is as far as what I think he will do and what I want him to do. And then as far as the duets that I think they would do, I think they would do similar to Vegas. They would do Shallow. They would start with that and do Golden Ring.
Oh, yeah.
Those two just seem very iconic now for them. And it's what I have in my head. So that's what I imagine they would do in a Trisha show as well. But those aren't the ones that I would want them to do, although one of them is. I would want them to do Shallow because I just love their version of that song. And hearing Trisha hit those notes at the very beginning, I just like, oh, yeah, that's the way it needs to be done every single time and twice on Sunday. Like, she just is phenomenal. And then my second duet that I would want them to do is Wild as the Wind.
Oh, that would be a fantastic song.
Oh, I love that song.
Me too. I love that song.
See, and you probably got to see them. Did you see them sing that live back in the day? Yeah. See, you were getting to go see live shows back then, and I wasn't. I missed it.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen them do that one in video, but yeah, I would love to see that live.
Yes. And it's so good. So I would love to hear that, have that be their duets. And as a side note, I was recently at the Garth show on July the 12th, a Friday, and I sat with Jim DeMarco and his daughter, and I told him we were going to be recording this episode. So I asked Jim if Trisha did a tour and Garth was her plus one, what two songs do you think Garth would do? And his answer was a little bit different than all of ours. He said he thought Garth would do That Summer and The Dance.
Okay.
So I thought that was a good perspective too.
Great, yeah.
You know, Garth surprises us. You just never know what he would do.
Yeah.
It's true.
Come in with some James Taylor, Bob Dylan,
Right.
pop into a Garth song, and then off he goes with some Reba or Brooks and Dunn or something like that, and then off stage he heads, and then that's it.
There's no telling.
Yep. You never know what you're going to get. All right, everyone. That's it for this episode. Kind of our, if Trisha went on a tour and Garth was her plus one dream episode. So what songs do you think Garth and Trisha would do as a duet? And what songs do you think Garth would do on his own? Give that a thought and then send us a message on any of our social media accounts to let us know. Or if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, at the top of every episode description, you'll see a link that says send us a text message, so you can always send it through there as well. Have you checked out our website at garthology.com yet? If not, stop by today and check out past episodes and bonus content. And remember to subscribe to our podcast on your podcast platform of choice. Don't forget, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, you can always write up a review and hit that 5-star button if you like what you hear. Then share us with everyone you know. That way you can help your friends in low places become Garthologists too.
Yeah, and speaking of friends in low places, if you guys are on social media, you could find us at www.facebook.com/GarthologyCast. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and TikTok, all at GarthologyCast. We love the interactions. To see the tweets and the retweets and the answers to the posts and the messages, like, it makes our day. So we love the support. We can't wait to see what else is out there for you guys and us at Garthology. So make sure you keep hitting those likes and interacting with us because we love it.
You can hear new episodes of Garthology on the 7th, 17th, and 27th of each month. So please join us for our next episode. Until then,
thanks for joining us for another episode of Garthology. And I'm Deb.
I'm Pete.
And I'm Jess. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. And remember, love will always win.
Finish it! Finish it!
Bloopers.
I almost did that. Hey, it's Look Down Deb.
I'm telling you.
No, I can't. Katie even said, hey, it's Look Down Deb.
I've completely lost the string of where you are, so I'm trusting you can edit that back together.
By the way, this is Jess. Peace out.
Right.